Sam's Garage is brought to you by NHOU. Sam and Doug Harris get to work on the front suspension of the Alpha 1 GTO project. This week, updated control arms are installed to help keep the front wheels pointed in the right direction. The control arms are a critical part of the suspension, connecting the chassis of the car to the steering knuckle.
We're about to upgrade the suspension and brakes on our 250, and we got some old school Daytons, and they're going to come with knockoffs. And tell us how to use that hammer and get them off.
Yeah, one of the important things, little tech tip here, is the tire rolls this direction. So when you're putting them on, you're always going the opposite direction. This has a right hand and a left hand thread. So when I go ahead and I'm going to start, let me find the right one here, and I'll start to go ahead and begin to loosen it up. You know, and if I hadn't been working out, this would be a real issue.
No
But
kidding.
when you got a set of these, you can do a set of these.
Makes it much easier. Now, when you don't have a set of those and you want to take them off in the future, it's very important that before you put on the knockoff, you put a little bit of anti-seize each time you service your wheels. That way the knockoff will always come off for you, regardless of how big your biceps are, okay? You go ahead and get that off. I'll go ahead and take this side off.
Sounds good, Sam.
You know, Doug, these lower arms and the trailing arms are going to really complement those coilovers. As you can see, we've eliminated the two joints, the two bushings right here at the frame. Yeah. We've got caster adjustment, we've got camber adjustment, and we got camber adjustment on the shock itself.
Yeah, just a little tech tip. When you're putting all of this stuff together, make sure you put it together loose. Make sure everything fits right. Just hand tight all the nuts and bolts, everything onto it. Otherwise, if you begin to tighten it and things aren't right, and you're tearing it apart and you don't really know. So make sure you just hand tighten everything, mock it all up before you start tightening.
Absolutely. And don't forget, anytime you guys are replacing something that's an alignment item, like this trailing arm, take it and mock it up with the original one to get you close to the alignment shop. Now, we're going to have to go back and put cotter pins in, but we're not doing that yet because we're going to get new inner and outer tie rods on this to complete the front suspension. And I'm also going to get new bearings for the spindles. So, but right now, we're good to go on the front and we can start to tackle the rear.
That sounds great.
And on the rear, we're going to be doing the differential, cross members, and a complete setup just like this on the rear. It's going to make it really handle around the corners.
Yeah, once again, it's going to give us all the adjustments that we need. Once we go ahead and get this out on the road and begin to put it through its paces, we'll know how we're going to need to set it up.
But we also trimmed weight. You know, not only does this suspension give us full adjustability, but the difference between the arm that the factory one is just a boxed-in steel, stamped steel, it's going to have a lot of flex to it.
Right.
Whereas the aftermarket piece is a solid chunk of CNC machine billet aluminum, and it's going to give you no flex.
Yeah, and also the thing onto it, you can see on a piece like this where you have heim joints or where you have rubber, and you have rubber bushings up on the top, and so we've eliminated the rubber, and by doing that, takes all that flex out. Otherwise, you set your chassis, even though you do it, you go into a turn, the rubber begins to flex, and we want to eliminate because we're going to be pushing this automobile.
Let's go ahead and tighten up all our bolts, and we're ready to go in the rear.
Sounds like a plan.